Ali, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be reviewing swatches and showing you a little demo that I did for this look using the brand new Made by Mitchell Do You Want Some Milk palette. So if you guys want the tea on this palette as well as some swatches and of course the little demo of this gorgeous look that I've got on today, then go ahead and keep on watching. So there were recently some brand new products added to the Made by Mitchell line, and of course the Milk collection was released. I went ahead and picked up 2 of the products launched. There were some eyeliners and 3 new blush shades that were released as well, but I saved my coins a little bit because your girl's a little bit broke at the minute, and I only picked up the palette and the sponge because these were the 2 products that I was the most curious about. I probably will end up buying the blushes at some point because something about a hot pink and a purple blush, especially with the look that I've done today, those shades would have been absolutely perfect now that I think about it. And I knew I was going to do this look when I saw the palette, so I probably should have picked up the blushes. Anyway, it's a non-issue now, but I am here with the palette and I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you guys. So it does retail for £40, and this is what it looks like. I'm gonna be 100% upfront with you guys. When I saw this palette, I thought to myself, I'm not going to get it, just because I didn't get it. The cow concept and everything like that, I understand the meaning behind it, but for me it just, I don't know, it just wasn't clicking. Something wasn't meshing. And then I saw the swatches. And when I saw the swatches, it was over. I literally just, I fell in love with the palette, and I knew that I was gonna get it the second that it dropped. Like, I was ready with my card, sitting down 1 o'clock on a Friday, and I got the palette. I can't speak on the theme because I just don't get it, so I'm not gonna try. But I'm gonna go ahead and do some swatches in a second. But I also did pick up the Made by Mitchell sponges, and I do include a demo in this video of the sponge and how it performs. But I really like this sponge. Mine is tainted now, but I do have a clip for you guys so you can see what it looked like not tainted. So it does come in its own individual pouch, and this is what it looks like dry, and this is what it looks like wet. Like I said, there is a clip of me using the sponge later on in this video, but spoiler alert, this is definitely my new favorite sponge, and I am going to pick up about 4 of them because they're affordable and the quality is just out of this world. So this is the entire palette swatch, and honestly for me it's definitely one of my favorite MMMmitchell palettes out there. I just love the shades that are in here. I've gone ahead and swatched these shades bigger than all of the other ones because they're the shades that I used in today's look. Also because they are some of my favorite shades in the palette, and we had an odd number of colors in the palette anyway, so I just went ahead and swatched the last 5 larger than everything else. But this is the colors that we've got. I'm not sure what each of these colors has to do with cows. A lot of them are like self-explanatory and I can understand them, but then when we get into like the pinks, blues, aubergine, you know, garnets and that kind of thing, I don't know, I get a little bit lost, but the colors are absolutely to die for. I'm not sure about the rest of you, but for me the swatches are very impressive. If you are someone who needs to see a product in action before you decide how you feel about it, then this next part of the video is 100% for you. So I'm going to show you guys how I did this look today, and it was inspired by a look that I saw, I think on Instagram or on YouTube, but I will try and leave a link to the creator's channel or page or whatever it is if I can find it. But yeah, you guys, I hope you guys enjoy the tutorial, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I looked everywhere for my P. Louise blank canvas paint, but I couldn't find it, so I am going to use my Rumor 2.5 eye base, and this is what I'm using to prime my lid today. So I'm literally just going to take it, put it on my eyelids like this. This time I'm actually going to make sure to cover the entire lid, because in my last video I didn't do that and the shadows didn't perform the way I wanted them to. Okay, so the first shade I'm going to use is this eggplant looking shade right here, and this is Angus, and this is going to go right on the edge and also into like my crease area. So I start by packing it on just on the side here. And it's got beautiful, beautiful depth to it. So I do find that the shadows do take a little bit of work, but once you put in that work, the colour payoff is really, really nice. And taking a fluffier brush, I'm going to take this fuchsia looking shade right here. Actually, it's more like a hot pink, but it is called Lactose. And this I'm blending further up towards my brow bone, but also blending it into our first shade. And this is just to soften up the edge and sort of blur it out, same way I've done on this eye. It just creates this, I don't know, it just does what it needs to. And I'm also taking this shade right underneath here as well, and I'm just fanning it out, because I can always cover that up with foundation after. Plus the desired look that I want to finish off with, I do want it to sort of extend outwards, so I will be doing this over the foundation anyway. But this is just to help me map out everything, and I'm blending this in like that. So as you can see, the shadows do blend really nicely with each other, and yeah, it's just easy to work with. I'm kind of rushing as I'm going, and that's just because, not gonna lie, I've left filming a little bit late today, so that's why I'm rushing. But yeah, it's working out. It is, because the shadows are working out. So I work my way out and then back down again to make sure that everything is blended together. I'm using a cotton bud to cut my crease, and I'm just taking my Glow Hub. It's like a makeup remover, like a cleanser, and I just swirl this into that product, and I use this to remove the shadow from my crease that I don't want there. So this basically just creates the shape that I want my cut crease to look like. I'm back in with my P. Louise base in Rumor 2.5, and this is what I'm going to use just to fill in that area that I've literally just erased, because I do need a perfectly clean base for these colours. As you can see, they're quite bright, so having my base mixing with the purples, it's not going to work out for me. So I need that base to be true to colour, just like this. And I'm going to start my little sunset blend, and I am going in with the deepest shade first, which is this shade right here, Jessie's Girl. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've literally just used this shade for this look today. So we're going to start over here. And this I'm just going to blend right on the end here. So I'm packing on that shade just like this, until I get the depth that I want. And because I want it to blend into the first shade I use, I am going to go back in with that shade right next to it and just over the edge here, so it kind of looks like they're going into one. Just like this. So those two shades blend together, and then back in with Jessie's Girl so that it does have its own little moment on the lid there. And now I'm not going to go straight into the middle shade. I am going to go into the corner with our yellow shade, which is called Daisy. It's more like a mustard yellow, but actually I feel like it's in between a mustard and neon yellow, but you know what, it's just a yellow. I'm not doing this color chart thing. But I find yellows really difficult to work with, especially on my skin tone. So it does take a little bit more effort, and they do tend to come out darker on the lid than they do in the pan, just because I've got a wet base under there. But yeah, this is all I do. And I only take it up until I reach the middle, so I don't put any of the yellow in the middle, and I leave the middle section free. So I just stop the yellow there, and then we go in with the final middle shade, which is this one here, Sugar Puff. And I just pat this right on top, just like this. And now I'm going to go back and forth with all three of the shades until I get a seamless blend. So I'll start with the two outer corner shades and then back into the middle and so forth until I get what I want. I'm fairly happy with the way that that's blended. So I'm going to go ahead and do my inner corner now. And to do so, I'm taking the brush that I used for the yellow shadow and I'm dipping it into this top corner shade right here. It's like an iridescent white and it's called Milky. And the reason I'm using the yellow brush is because I want the two shades to sort of blend together and create a shimmery yellow, because there isn't really one in here. There's golden pearl, but it's not like a yellow gold. So I've done that, and this is just going to go right here on the inner corner. I think my favourite part of this look is that bronze liner that I've got going across. So I'm taking my Be Perfect X Stacey Marie liquid eyeshadow in the shade Brass, and I'm not using a lot of this at all. So I'm taking the applicator and literally just dotting it on my hand like that. It's honestly the smallest dot, you can almost not see it. And this is what I'm going to dip my brush into. So I just dip the brush into it like that and follow that line. That felt unnecessarily hard, but it's done. And I'm just going in with my MAC Magic Extension Mascara. And I'm just going to coat my lashes in preparation for the lashes that I'm going to be putting on today. And now I'm using my favourite kohl liner. I've literally used this one for years. This is my Key Coat liner in the shade number 1, which I think is just jet black. Anyway, this is what I'm going to use to line my waterline. And now I'm taking my favorite liquid liner, which is the XX Revolution Flicks eyeliner, and I really like this one because it's got such a small tip, because I can't do eyeliner to save my life, and I literally only use it to like have a guide for me to put my glue for my lashes. So this is really handy. So I just take this and I draw a very small line as close to the lash line as I can. Sometimes it does go over there, I'm not gonna lie, but it does add something to the look. This is where we are. I'm gonna do my makeup, do my lashes, and I'll come back, talk about the palette, and yeah. Or I might do my foundation on camera just so you guys can see the sponge in action. So I've primed my face and I'm going to go ahead and just use my NARS. Look how much of this I have used. But I'm using my NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade Macao. and I'm gonna go ahead and test out this sponge, but it does feel really good, you guys. Like, dare I say, comparable to the Beauty Blender. This is my, I think it's like, how much are Beauty Blenders? I feel like they're 16 plus, or maybe even 20, but this one I believe was like £6. So I might have to stock up on these. We're gonna go ahead and see how the blender performs. I'm actually very impressed, guys. For a sponge that's that cheap, okay, let me do my throat so you don't hear all the audio. But for a sponge as cheap as this one, it feels more high end than it is. It's really, really soft as well. The only downfall of the sponge for me obviously is the color. I feel like I'm never gonna see that yellow shade in this sponge again. I don't know what it is, but with pretty much all of my sponges apart from my blue and black and maybe my dark green Beauty Blender, once I've put my foundation on it, I never see the original color again. Like, it just leaves the group chat. It's gone. Bye. I really want to see how that corner takes to my under eye. Maybe I shouldn't have done the black liner first, but the sponge is doing an amazing job. So it's not picking up too much of the product to the point where it's like absorbing it all, and it's got good distribution as well, and it just feels nice on the face. I think that's probably my favorite thing about it, is the way it feels on my face. Me like. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead, finish the rest of my makeup, do all my blending, contouring, everything else, and then I'll come back. I feel like without the lower lash line, it's very doll-like, and I think that's kind of cute. So yeah, you guys, this is the finished look. If my cheeks feel like they're two different colors, it's because they are. I was just filming a blush review, so if you guys do want to check out my Glowish Cheeky Vegan blush review, then I will drop a link in the description box down below. But this video is not for me to promote another video, so let's go ahead and finish off with the palette. So this palette, I feel like, because of the versatility of the shades, it is one of my favorite MMMmitchell palettes. I do just really like the colors in here, and I didn't use any of the shimmers today, but the Made by Mitchell shimmers are definitely to die for. They're my favorite thing about my other palettes, and I can guarantee that once I get my fingers into that licky, I had to, like, I just couldn't not do it. Once I get my fingers into licky or in Hollerant or Brown Cow or Golden Pearl or Feline or Claws, oh no, I did use a shimmer. I did. I used the shade Milky. I did. But it's not quite the type of shimmer I'm talking about. I'm definitely looking at in Hollerant in particular. Like, this shade looks absolutely stunning. But once I've dipped into those and used them, I just know I'm gonna love them. But as a palette in general, while I don't understand the theme and the whole cow situation, the formula I cannot fault. And that's pretty much why I got this palette. Aside from the swatches really drew me in. I do wish this palette did come with one of the cool pouches. I haven't used my other two, and I'm probably giving them away to my friend anyway. But it would have been nice. It would have been nice to have, just because we've had it before. That's all. And another thing that I really, really like, and I think I might like it a bit more if I can find it, is a sponge. I like it a bit more than the palette, just because I've already had Made by Mitchell palettes before this for me is a brand new product that I'm obsessed with. Like, it feels like a marshmallow. Like, it literally feels like a marshmallow. Mine obviously is now almost all brown. Like, it looks like I've dyed this sponge, but it's just so nice to the touch, and it does a good job. I've noticed that some blenders, when they're super soft, they don't actually deliver. I feel like the product kind of bounces off them and it doesn't blend, it just sort of moves it around. Kind of like those silicone beauty blenders that people were obsessed with for a little bit. Like, I didn't like those. They didn't they didn't deliver for me. But yeah, this is a good product. If you get anything, get the sponge. You will be amazed. I really enjoyed playing with this palette. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If there is anything that I missed out or didn't say, then of course, you know, drop a question in the question, oh, not the question box, in the comment box. What is wrong with me today? What is wrong? If I forgot anything, then leave a comment in the comment section. Drop your questions and I will do my best to answer them. If I don't have the answer, I will definitely look for it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope to see you in my next one.